This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello, wonderful people watching within and outside Nigeria, those of us watching via the online channels. Thank you so much for joining us on yet another exciting episode of your program, our program, Business and Economy Network. My name is Ohioze Edna. On our program rundown today for Business and Economy Network News, we bring to you Greenwich Trust Limited Family Fun Fair, organized by Greenwich Family for Friends and Well-Wishers. It was indeed a nice outing. For special reports, we have the Country Coordinator Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology Nigerian Chapter, usually known as Ofab. Ofab is in the business of creating awareness for Nigerians, especially Nigerian farmers, on the need to embrace modern biotechnology as a sure means to increase productivity and also to see to the end of food insecurity in Nigeria. For Company in Focus, we have the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Mansard Pensions Limited, one of Nigerians' foremost pension fund administrator. And for Spotlight, we have the Managing Director of First Pension Custodian Limited, responsible for the investment of pension funds. As it is in our culture, you won't be disappointed. Do stay tuned. I'll join you shortly.
Hello, younger self. I just want to say thank you for deciding to live healthy. Thank you for keeping the right crowd that led to a partner that supports me. That decision led me to make the most important decision of all, making sure that I prepare for a secure future with the right partner. A partner that I can trust, that will ensure that I'm covered no matter what. ICO Pension Managers Limited. Now I can indulge in the things that matter to me. Thanks to you. You are a product of your decisions. Make choices that can stand the test of time, so when tomorrow calls, you'll answer with a smile. So, what decisions will you be making today? ICO Pension Managers.
All work and no play, they say, makes Jack a dull boy. Family fun fairs are a great way to relax, unwind, and sometimes to reward employees and their families. Fun fairs can be a nice distraction from work stress. People, both old and young, find it interesting and enjoy the moments. Though it has gone beyond families and now finds its way in corporate organizations, just like it happened recently at the Center of Excellence, Lagos State, Nigeria. The Greenwich Trust Management and staff played host to family members, friends, and well-wishers. All this was geared to bringing families of Greenwich Trust together and also to be acquainted with themselves.
On behalf of the executive committee, welcome all our mummies and daddies and all the children and thank you all for taking our time today to join us in this family fun event. We thought that even the fact that a lot of us work so hard, it's also important to create occasions like this to appreciate those who live at home when we're at work, especially our spouses and our children. So today is just a day for all of us first to get to know each other. I have met today the spouses of many of our staff, and I hope I've had the opportunity of meeting them even over today. And I'm sure it's the same thing with other people. So, second opportunity that this has afforded us is that we are able to unwind and socialize together so that we can also have what is called the work-life balance and is so desirable these days.
The Greenwich group has been around for such a long time. We are also just refreshing ourselves with mind. Aside from that, it's the last having. I remember when you were just Greenwich, you were just there now. There is what be. And we have about maybe 600 thereabout people in the group. What other way to bring our families together? Because it's a family, that's who we are.
Teenagers, please step forward.
One of its kind that has never been before. I'm really surprised. I told me that they would have
Don't worry, even with your child, you can dance. Please
we
come.
have the time to come together and
Before you begin to say, oh,
about each other.
and you need to not forget it.
Okay.
I'll see you.
With government's determination to totally diversify the Nigerian economy and also generate funds from all sectors of the economy aside oil and gas, experts say agriculture can be Nigerians' major economic driver if properly enhanced. There is finally light at the end of the tunnel considering the ability to use modern science techniques, especially biotechnology, to enhance and boost agricultural growth. Nigeria recently recorded a milestone as the National Committee on Naming and Release of Crop Materials in Ibadan officially approved the registration and commercialization of BT cotton varieties. This comes as a major leap to farmers and the textile industry that has been redundant for many years due to lack of raw materials.
Yeah, it was a major breakthrough. It's something that I had always looked forward to for the past 9 to 10 years. We have been yearning for the adoption of this technology, and it has come. And it has come at a very critical time when Nigeria is diversifying her economy, moving away from the oil to non-oil, and agric is first on Mr. President's agenda. So how do we make agriculture a business without the use of appropriate technologies like biotechnology? And so that's why Nigeria is now on board. Nigeria has joined the League of Other Nations, the Committee of Nations that have adopted this technology and are moving on. They're fine. It has joined countries like Brazil, Argentina, US, India, South Africa, in Africa, and then Sudan. The Varietal Release Committee, which is the highest body, for any seed to be commercialized in Nigeria, it must go through that committee. The committee must name, release, and give approval to that crop seed. And lo and behold, I was there. I witnessed it live and direct. BT cotton, Bulgat 2, two varieties of Bulgat 2, MRC 7377 and MRC 7361 were named and released for commercialization. And so to us, it's a big milestone in the agri-biotech space. It's something that is worth celebrating, worth to be happy about. It's going to come to the rescue of farmers. Cotton is a perennial crop, it's a cash crop. But farmers in Nigeria have actually turned their back to cotton cultivation because of the challenges that this crop has. It's very, very susceptible, highly susceptible to so many insects, especially insects within the Lepidopteran family, the bollworm complex. And then we have stainers, we have sucking insects. It's highly susceptible to these insects. So for farmers to actually have yield, harvestable yield, they have to spray like 10 times, in some cases even 12 times, for them to have good yields. And how much do they have? So it's capital intensive, the labor intensiveness in carrying chemicals on their bars, going around the farm. How do you do business farming with that kind of labor intensiveness? That all humans they don't have access to mechanical farming, and so they have to use their hands, their bags, their own bodies. So if you have to do like 400 hectares, can you do that? It's impossible. Farmers cannot wait to have these seeds. They know what they have been going through. They have been enslaved, to subsistence farming, no empowerment. What they cultivate, by the next farming season they're out of food. The problems are animals. There are just many. The rise in temperature, the global warming, that's all. Insect and pests, they're all there, and they have been grappling with that. So of course, if they find seed that can really solve their problem, give them high yield, because farming is all about harvestable yields. Once you take away those factors that affect the yields, you're done. So farmers cannot wait to have these seeds. We've interacted with them many times, and you know they are practical people. Once you give a farmer a seed and he plants and he sees it working, that is it. You don't need to talk too much. There are people that believe in, seeing it working. That's just it. And creating awareness, it's going down to their own level, simplifying some of these, myths, breaking down the jargons, learning their own language, getting people to either translate or interpret, because most of them are illiterate, those grassroots farmers. They can't read. So yours is to talk, maybe find ways. We have these extension workers, we have to use the extension workers because they understand the language better. They know how they relate with them. So we just have to use existing structures, This is not about PowerPoints, this is not about English, this is not about, But once I have the seeds, I think my seeds they understand the seed language better. And these extension workers, they know what to, tell them. And they are all over the federation. Every state has them.
Mansard Pension Managers Limited has its head office in Victoria Island, Lagos. The firm has gradually developed to become one of the preferred pension administrators by pension scheme holders. Though relatively young, the firm has recorded remarkable success in its years of operation. Mansard offers direct pension services and provides best conditions for contributors in the pension scheme. Also, the firm has a special payment and investment service for retirees. In the chat with the Managing Director, Mr. Dakbo Akinsanya, a financial expert, who said Mansard will grow to become a top player amongst other pension fund administrators because of some of the characteristics that stands the firm out. Example is the ability to respond swiftly to clients' needs.
Mansard came into being in its current form, that is Mansard Pensions, in December 2014 as a result of the acquisition of the former Premium Pensions Limited, which was based in Abuja, by our immediate parent company, Mansard Insurance PLC. In turn, Mansard Insurance PLC, formerly known as Mansard Insurance PLC, was acquired by AXA in January 2015. AXA is the world's leading insurance company, and by virtue of that acquisition, sometime in July 2015, our name was changed from Permanent Pensions Limited to Mansard Pensions Limited. Therefore, we've been in the business in this current form for the last 3.5 years. And our business includes management of retirement savings accounts on behalf of workers who contribute into the contributory pension scheme. Importantly, we also service people who have retired. So from the retirement savings accounts, the RSA accounts that people have, upon retirement, they move into the retiree fund, and we are responsible for administration of their benefits to them, to ensuring that they receive their benefits as at when due without any issues. We also provide a lot of guidance and enlightenment to our clients in terms of understanding how the contributory pension scheme works, what they should expect from us as their PFA, also to understand what they ought to do to make sure that they don't have any challenges. Today we have a scheme which is working very well, and it's meeting its objectives. Objectives in terms of ensuring that people who have spent a lot of time working are able to retire into comfort. So today, from a situation of, let's say, zero, when this scheme started more than 13 years ago, we have about 8 trillion naira under management. And there has not been a single recorded case of any retiree who has fulfilled all that is required in terms of documentation, who is not receiving his or her pension benefits on time. And so those issues which we had with the pension scheme in the past, issues like delays, issues like sharp practices, those issues are a thing of the past. The regulation and the legislation are extremely robust. We have a regulator that is very active and on top of what they are doing. We have operators who are also very conscientious and mindful of not repeating the issues of the past and ensuring that the integrity of this scheme is maintained. And I think I would say without any reservation that so far we are doing excellently. Our objective is to pay retirees before somewhere between the 25th and 30th of every month. And so far that has been working, because what we do is set up, we give instructions to our custodian, and there's a standing order every month for those payments to go automatically into the retirees' accounts. There is a very bright future. Relatively speaking, compared to much more developed jurisdictions where you have well-functioning pension industries, I think we're still quite young. The labeling legislation was originally enacted in 2004, 14 years ago. Operators were licensed in 2005, 13 years ago. Operations effectively started in 2006, just 12 years ago. And today, we have just around 8 million contributors who have opened accounts under this scheme, versus a total workforce, informal and informal, of, depending on which estimates you take, because there are various estimates out there, arguably up to 90 million people in the labor force. So there's still significant room for growth. Even if you look at just the informal sector, I like to tell people that when this scheme started, based on a study that was done by a well-respected international institution, at the time, 13, 14 years ago, the estimates of Nigeria's workforce was somewhere between 50 and 60 million people, of which the formal workforce alone was estimated to be between 10 and 12 million. So today, 14 years later, you can say we have only achieved maybe about 60 to 75% of that estimate of 14 years ago. But really and truly, the workforce has grown. So there's still lots more room for penetration, even in the formal side of things. But the informal sector holds even far larger opportunity, and there's significant scope for growth. And we think this industry will continue to grow. Beyond that, as people see the achievements of the industry, as people see and are confident that this industry is operating efficiently and meeting its objectives, I think more and more you will see more voluntary participation, even from people who work by themselves, even today from those state governments that have not yet fully implemented the scheme or have not yet complied.
First Pension Custodian Nigerian Limited is the foremost pension custodian in the Nigerian pension industry. Mr. Kule Lawan Jinadu serves as the managing director. The firm continuously answers to its name and has been first in providing safekeeping practices that ensures pension client satisfaction always. Considering the pension sector is highly regulated, selling same products and services, which makes the competition very stiff. Over time, First Pension Custodian has been able to design on-point strategies and offering first-class services that are satisfactory to the clients.
Well, I do not have to take that risk of being an irresponsible leader in the sphere of this business. The truth is that all of us took our roots from the same place. All of us are guided by the same regulations. All of us are monitored by the same regulation. And all of us do it the same way. Two things can stand another institution out: how progressively you have adopted technology to drive your business, and efficiently. The second is how you spend on your people to deliver on satisfactory services to the clients. And I think that is that's very important. But to say that I am special or it is not going to be correct. It is not going to be correct. And most importantly also, the nature of our business under the regulation that sets us up does not actually also permit us to claim to be special, to claim to know better than the others. But the important thing is that you continue to re-engineer to the delight of your customers, both in terms of technology, human management, relationship management, and whatever you are able to contribute to them. Mind you, I am not, as a custodian, permitted to be in front marketing for administrators, but I must do my own services so well that they will be able to go outside there and say they can deliver this way, believing that the custodian is doing all at their best to provide those services. Simple. That's simple. Like I always say, we're all the same. What distinguishes us is the approach that we take to do that. Well, there are two things involved here. One is affordability. The second is political will. For a whole lot of states, they are in a very difficult situation. They are civil service states. The wage burden on them for their workers far outweighs whatever allocation they get from the government. And a lot of these states are also in situations where even their internally generated revenue is nothing to write home about. So for a whole lot of them, and I can say to you for more than 50% of them, affordability will be a major issue. There are a few that are able to afford, and this is where the political will to actually do it comes in. Because also, even in those states where they could afford, there are too many competing needs. I wouldn't speak for any state, but competing things in terms of development, in terms of paying wages and things like that, by the time they put all of this together, it becomes extremely difficult for them to say setting aside pension for people is important or something. Political will deal with that. I overheard a governor once, sometimes last year, who said that workers think that they are the only people who supported them in getting to government. Sad, yes, but the truth is that a state that has, let's say, 4, 5, 8 million population, or maybe a little more, maybe. And the workforce for government is less than 1 million. And the resources are not just there. Why is the civil servants clamor for pensions? They take salary from the state government, they also wanted pension. Meanwhile, the ordinary man on the street who also voted, or who also took risks voting for them to get to power, doesn't have water, doesn't have roads, doesn't have house to sleep, doesn't have things. So you can take all of this together and find a reason why we will not do it. Those are issues. But the truth of it is that two sides, affordability and political will, would continue to be a major thing for the states.
This is Business and Economy Network.
Welcome back, viewers. Hope we had a wonderful time and learned something new. This is the more time we permit us to take. But before I go, I want to thank you so much for your contributions, for your messages. Keep them coming. We appreciate you. For more information, you can visit our website, and for past episodes of the program, you can also watch them on our YouTube channels displayed on your screen. Join us same time, same station next week. We love you.